Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Travel Physio. My name is Olivia and I'm a physiotherapist from Australia. If you're new to my channel, please take a second to subscribe. We post weekly videos on how to look after your body and live a pain-free life. And if you don't ever want to miss an update, you can sign up to our newsletter here and you will be reminded. So last week I got a request to do a Hemi's stretch video from Becky. Thank you so much. I love reading all your comments, so go crazy and comment as much as you guys like and I will try to get back to every one of you guys. I also got this request from another friend a while back, and so I thought to myself it is time to do a stretching video. Also, my hip muscles have gotten a lot tighter in the last couple of months because I've neglected them, and I know, hashtag guilty. I think a lot of people tend to forget their inner hip muscles, which do a lot of work for you as well. So I'm going to show you stretches for your hamstrings as well as your hip muscles, more specifically your piriformis muscle. I'll be doing those stretches in 3 ways, which is in sitting, standing and lying down. Without further ado, let's get started. Number 1, in sitting. Just find yourself a chair, and any chair would do as long as you can have your feet on the ground, have your legs right in front of you, and what you want to do is walk your hands towards your ankles. If you can touch your toes, great, it means you have quite good flexibility, but if not, just go as far as you can until you feel a stretch behind your leg and then hold it for 30 seconds. So with your Piriformis stretch, what you do is you sit on the chair, you cross your leg over the other and you bend slightly forwards until you feel a stretch in your piriformis area. If you don't feel a stretch, that's probably a good thing. It means that you're not too tight on anything. To stretch it even further, you want to press down on your knee until you feel that stretch on the same side as where you're pressing your knee. This is a great way to start if you're much older, also a safer way to stretch your hamstrings. Number 2, in standing. Now with the standing stretch, this might be a little bit harder if you've got really tight hamstrings or hip muscles, so you might want to try the sitting or the lying down if this is the case. Otherwise, if you're in a park or somewhere in public and standing is the most easiest way to do it, then this is how you should do it. It could be a lot easier if you can find a bench of some sort that is about hip level to you, and all you have to do is put your leg on top of that bench and then slowly reaching forwards towards your toes until you feel a stretch behind your hamstrings, and then hold it for 30 seconds. Make sure there's no pain again, and if there is pain, just come back a little until you just feel a stretch and no pain. Another way to do it if you don't have the bench is having one leg in front of you, and with your hands on that leg, bend slightly forwards until you feel a stretch in your hammies. Keep the other knee bent and just have the leg that stretch out in front of you straight. Just make sure that your knee is straight when you're doing your hamstring stretches. If you do bend your knee, you might actually be stretching a different muscle than your hamstrings. You can do a bilateral hamstring stretch as well by reaching down to your ankles or toes. With the Piriformis stretch, again, you cross your foot to the other leg with your other knee bent, and then with your hand you gently put some pressure on the knee until you feel a stretch in your piriformis area. So with the lying down stretch, this is probably one of the easiest stretches to do if you have really tight hamstrings. What you want to do is have one of your legs just rested on the ground, and you should feel a stretch just behind your leg. And if you have trouble doing this, you could either use a towel to help yourself stretch a little further back, or a stretching strap that you can buy. I will put a link below if you want to look it up. This could help you stretch a bit further if you have difficulty reaching for your leg. And another stretch you can do for your hamstrings is having your leg against the wall, and you can either try to go a bit closer to the wall to increase the stretch, or come a little bit further if it's a little bit too hard for you. With lying down for your piriformis stretch, You want to bring your other leg across and twist your body to the other side of where your leg is facing, and until you feel a stretch in your hip. So this is another way you can perform the Piriformis stretch. You bring your leg across and then lift your other leg up, hook your hands behind your knee and bring your leg towards your face until you feel a stretch in your hip. And bonus for watching this far, I love my foam roller. I think it's probably one of the best things invented, especially if you want to give yourself a self-massage, and especially now that we're in lockdown and we can't go and get our massages. Probably better to give yourself a self-massage anyway, because one, you'll be able to feel your muscles better, and two, you know whether it's effective or not. If you do have a foam roller or a spiky ball, again I will put all the details of this below. You can have the foam roller under your hamstrings or your hip and just roll up and down with the pressure that you prefer over a couple of minutes. You can do one leg at a time if you prefer, or you can have the foam roller below both legs if you want to do them at the same time. Although this might require some strength in your arms to keep yourself up, so depending how you go, it's much easier to do this on the floor than say on a yoga mat, just because the floor is a lot firmer and the yoga mat might be a bit squishier. You don't have to do all these stretches in one day. If you prefer sitting, just choose the sitting stretches to do, or if you like the lying down because it's more relaxing, then do the lying down stretches. They all stretch the same hip and hamstring muscles, so you only have to choose one. But if you want to mix it up instead of doing the same stretches over again, then go for it, and the choice is yours. And through doing these stretches frequently, you should gain flexibility over time. Make sure each time you do a stretch that you're not experiencing any pain. If you're having any pain, please stop and do either a different stretch or stretch a bit less, because it might mean that you're overstretching and you don't want that. You could be injuring yourself more instead of helping yourself. I think a lot of people get the wrong impression that overstretching means more results, but in actual fact, as long as you feel that stretch in your muscles, it means that your stretch is working, so you don't have to put too much pressure to stretch. Don't be frustrated if you can't reach your toes. I know a lot of my friends have trouble doing this, especially if you're older and you haven't had a good habit of stretching every now and then. Your hamstrings and hip muscles will tend to get tighter over time if you don't stretch them, but it is fixable. As long as you start doing your stretches today and continue doing it and make it a habit, you will notice that your flexibility will improve over time. If today is your first time doing your stretches in a very long time, don't fret if you only can reach your knees or the top of your shin, because I have seen a lot of people with very poor flexibility and that's as far as they can reach, but that's okay. Everyone has to start somewhere, so wherever you can reach to today is fine, as long as you keep up with the consistency. I'm sure you'll be able to gain flexibility over time, so don't give up. And don't compare yourself to others, because that's only going to stop you from going forwards. Just compare yourself to yourself. So if today you can only stretch to this far, just have a look at yourself in a week or a month's time. You will probably be stretching a lot further than you are today, and that is an achievement. Also, don't forget to breathe. There's no point stretching if you're going to hold your breath and tense up your muscles. The whole point of stretching is to relax your muscles after they've worked so hard for you, whether it is you've done some exercise, a workout, or just standing all day if your work involves standing, or sitting all day as well. So like I said, if you want more information about all the things that I've spoken about, you should be able to find them in the description below. These stretches are really important, and do encourage you to do them as much as you can to avoid yourself getting back pain, hip pain, or any hamstring strain, and also it reduces your risk of getting injured if you're playing sport. Don't forget, I do one-on-one consultations for those of you who want a bit more advice, or if you've got an injury or pain that's bothering you. And I offer free information sessions as well on how I conduct my online assessments. So more information down below. Thank you so much for watching, And that's my 3 ways of doing your hip and hamstring stretches. I hope you guys find this helpful. If I've missed anything, feel free to comment. If you've got any other requests, again, I'd love to hear from you, so please comment down below, and I will see you in my next video.